Good evening. This is Jared Gray, my co-host Jordan Rains with the IDP Hour on the Full-Time Fantasy Podcast Network. How are you doing, Jordan?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm just excited about this week. I mean, it sucks that it's week 12 already.
I know, right? And I mean, like, the season's closing in. I mean, playoffs are 2 weeks away in most leagues, and if you're out, you're out. Your season's over. You know.
Yeah, I mean it's closing time. I mean,
people's season is already over. That's rest of
I mean, some people are playing spoiler. We got this one league, first one 0-7 or something like that, and now it's won 4 straight. So playing spoiler, just knocking people down, boom, boom, boom. You know, and just It's hilarious to watch, actually. So
nice. Gotta find those little victories even in loss.
Yeah, pretty excited. We got some crazy games this week. Monday. How'd you feel about Monday's game? Let's just get that over with real quick.
I don't know. What'd you think? I mean,
I was not a fan, dude. I mean, it had some good IDP. I mean, I'll give you that.
Yeah, it did. Melvin Ingram just keeps showing up. You know what I mean? He's not getting the kind of love that he probably deserves. Joey Bosa has let us down 3 weeks in a row now. Something like
I mean, I'm glad he let us down because he was going against me. But
yeah, Frank showing some life. It was. Overall, the game, it was a shit show, really, on the offensive side of the ball. I lost Tyreek as soon as the game started, and I had a lot of my money leagues. Thankfully, I still won all those.
Like I said, if I'd got 20 points out of him, I would have tied because the other guy pulled some zeros. So
yeah,
and I got 0 points out of him.
Had his worst game ever, which was disappointing. I lost a matchup. I'm playing an IDP Sharks league, and I only needed 10 points, and Tyreek went out. Or no, I only needed 10 more points from. It was 4 or 6 points. It was less than 10 from Mahomes, and he had the worst game ever. I literally just needed him to throw a touchdown to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens. I mean it's how life goes with us. Yeah. Again, this is Jared Gray. I'm with my coach Jordan Rains, part of the Full-Time Fantasy Podcast Network. We're going to go over your weekly matchups this coming week for IDP. Again, you might drop a comment here and there. We might give you some love. So we do it every week. We do a live show this evening and tomorrow and Sunday. So let's get to the first game. Going to be some fun this week. So let's Colts-Texans. Let's just hope the Texans play better than they did the last game because they were a dumpster fire.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. I've never seen him, look that bad. And it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of big, quarterbacks played bad this week. Just like you said, Mahomes did not have a good week. And then you had Watson did not have a good week. Lamar Jackson balled out. Lamar Jackson's got to be the MVP at this point.
Yeah. We have to give Russell Wilson the nod, kind of like they wanted to do for Drew Brees all last year when we all knew it was Mahomes. You got to give him the veteran nod, he's in the race.
I mean, I'm giving him some love for sure. I would say he's got to be top 3.
Oh yeah, definitely. But Lamar Jackson, if he does not win the MVP based on what he's done this season, would be a trap.
But let's halt a little bit. We still got some weeks left, right? He struggled against Cleveland, who he's going to have to play again.
Fair, but 1 or 2 bad games. That's fair. Let's talk IDP, though.
Yeah, let's get to this. Okay, so Colts, Texans, kind of getting super loud.
I like Zach Cunningham a lot. I played him this week in one of my dynasty leagues. He helped me get a win. Whitney Merciless has not been what he was to start the season. Really a shadow of that man, especially in the box score. Benardrick McKinney, anyone?
Yeah, he's off and on. It's a good matchup for him this week. I would say the Colts, they lost their starting running back, so they're down to, their other 2 guys, and they've got a third guy that's injured. So
they're going to have
the defensive side. The Texans could have a little more love. I want to see Merciless play a little better. Justin Reid's got to step up.
I think he's doubtful for this game. I think that injury he got early in the season has really messed with his mojo.
They've been injured a lot just on the offense or, just on the defensive side, corner side. A bunch of corners have been hurt from the Texans, and I think that showed a lot this last week. Mm-hmm. And it could even be more this coming week. So, Oh, we'll see.
Yeah. What about the Colts side? I mean, Darius Leonard is an obvious must play.
Garrett finds a must play. I mean, every week. I don't care if they're playing a team that throws the ball 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Leonard's a must play.
Agreed.
He's the best outside linebacker in the league. Proved it last year.
Yeah. Clayton Gathers has not been playing great this year. I'm pretty much benching him everywhere I have him. Malik Hooker, I'm not playing him either where I have him. He's kind of a bye-week filling kind of guy for me. What do you think about those back-end guys?
Like I said, Malik Hooker's kind of a guy I'm looking at. The Colts Brissett's back, so it sounds like I would like to know a solid corner to play and a solid safety to play with Justin Reid being out on the Texans side, because with Brissett being back, their running option is hurt. It sounds like Tyreek Hill was a full practice. Sorry, not Tyreek Hill, but
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton, sorry. T.Y. Hilton is back, so I expect them to pass the ball. So yeah. I kind of want more of a firm, like who I'm going to expect to play on their back end more than
the Colts back end. Not really anything exciting there. I mean, Justin Houston is still a great play. Justin Houston and Darius Leonard pretty much shut it down for me on that team.
Yep, I agree. Brandon's getting a little lost and just reads out, and I agree. I thought he was. So
cool. I saw he was doubtful. That was the last thing I had seen.
Okay, let's get to the next game. Dolphins and the Browns. The Dolphins have won 2 of their last 3. The defense has started playing a lot better. The Browns defense is super banged up, but it sounds like Ogunjobi got his 1-game suspension overturned today.
Really?
Yep. Also, his fine was rescinded, so he's going to be playing.
What do you think? Well, I wonder what's going to happen with Myles Garrett then.
So they're gonna say, they said they're gonna talk about it later in the week. So I'm gonna guess tomorrow we'll hear something. I would like to see him. We don't know if he's going to get a whole lot of playing time or if he's going to come back this year. I can tell you the fans are voting like crazy to put him in the Pro Bowl, which he could still play in the Pro Bowl, right? It's not part of the season. Either way, if he's, unless he's
that's a messy situation. In Dynasty, I have him in my giant Dynasty league that I've told you about, and it really sucks to lose him because I paid up for him in that startup this year because, it's one of those premium leagues. So, he was like where I got him, I felt really good about it, but sucks to have him.
Well, like I said, there's an opportunity for him to get some games taken off. There's been shown like 5 videos of players who threw helmets or hit a player with a helmet
and did not get
didn't get suspended or got like a 2-game suspension or a 4-game suspension. Not one of them was suspended for the whole time, except for the old West Virginia wide receiver corner who beat the bricks off of somebody. So it's gonna be an interesting one.
I guess Olivia Vernon is gonna play. I know he was out this last game.
Yeah,
right?
I like Thomas.
Yeah,
in that matchup. Yeah, I picked him up last week. He scored 20 points in my league last week, and that was with everybody playing.
Nice.
Thomas is getting a lot of playing time. He's shown that he's kind of balling a little bit. So the last 2 games he's played really well. Is it pretend with Myles Garrett is not going to play this week, no matter what. I don't care what he says.
No. There's no way.
No matter what happens, I expect Thomas to be a guy that on the other side I expect to play a little bit. He's a person that I'm streaming this week probably, especially with Vikings being out, so I don't have their guys playing. So he's a guy that I'm probably going to stream. Dolphins side, Baker.
Yeah, Baker's actually kind of coming on hot here towards the end of the season. I was just looking. He has 75 total tackles on the season, which is 1 more than my dude Devin Bush.
He had a really good start and then had a really, really
chill,
just chill spot. And then now he's coming back on strong, and you can see him starting to play really well.
Mm-hmm. Good guy. And you can tell that team's getting a little bit. They're starting to feel themselves a little bit, even though they
are. They're playing pretty well right now.
They're
losing draft stock.
They're trusting the process, guys, and they're embracing it. So good for them.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Let's get to the Lions Redskins. Do you think Matt Ioannidis comes back this week and plays well? Because he just didn't last week.
Yeah, I think with Stafford being out, Driscoll being back there, and the Lions offensive line to me with him back there just doesn't seem like it's something that's going to be able to withstand the torrent that the Redskins defensive line is going to rain down on them. So
the Lions unleashed a new running back in Bo Scarborough.
Yeah, he went for like
carries, 75 yards, something or 55 yards.
Yeah, he went for like $15 a fab in one of my leagues today. I didn't even put a bid in on him.
I mean,
I've had the Lions' best running back.
They're going to run the ball a little bit with him. They're going to pass the ball, obviously.
Yeah.
Jones and Galladay are still there. You expect some fun. Taven Wilson's still got to be a decent play against.
Oh yeah, Taven Wilson. He's ranked 13 in my rankings this week. I think. I think there's a high turnover probability for him. Based on how he's been playing, based on how the Redskins quarterback, what's his name, Haskins,
Dwayne Haskins.
I just see a lot of.
Did you see the?
I see this being a very sloppy, very messy game.
Did you see the video that Steve started talking about?
Oh yeah, where he was
sitting there yelling at, basically he was asking for help from the linemen, and they were blowing that dude straight off.
Yeah, they weren't even they were like, "Who is this kid?"
Let this kid keep talking. It was hilarious.
I know, I was cracking up.
The one dude just looks at him and he's like, "Nah."
It reminded me of the Jameis eating a W thing.
Oh my god, dude, it was so bad.
It was like, bro, our season's why are you talking about this matters? Yeah, no respect for him. Anyway.
First round draft pick, my ass, and that's the looks that he was getting, and he got so much shade for it, and I hated that for him because he's a good kid. I mean,
it just sucks to be a Redskin. So Landon Collins or Matt Ioannidis
still okay. So on each side, Landon Collins on one side, Taven Wilson on the other. Got it. Well, your boy stepped up last week. Does he step up this week?
Who?
Our one guy that we haven't talked about all week, but he's on our studs list all year. Our studs list from the Redskins.
Oh, Kerrigan?
Ryan Kerrigan. Do we expect him to reappear?
I mean, I think you just got to roll with it. I mean, he has such a long track record of being good. It was kind of weird for him to be so, for lack of a better word, fucking shitty for IDP early in the season. And this game, I expected to see the game he had last week, within the first 2 or 3 weeks, and it just never happened. So it was good to see. Again, like I said, you can't really not start any of these Redskins defensive linemen if you have them. I'm even starting Daron Payne in a league or two this week. So I think you can roll them out there and expect something to fall your way.
The Lions put up a good game against Dallas. I expect them to have a good game against the Redskins. So,
yeah, those should be. Like I said, it's going to be sloppy. There should be turnovers and sacks.
Flowers going to still start.
I think he's a decent start pretty much every week. I don't know where he ended up being on my rankings this week. I think I kind of put him a little lower just because he's not even sack dependent. He's pretty much been forced fumble dependent this season. He basically has a forced fumble every other game. That's kind of his main scoring thing, and I just don't know how sustainable that is. Again, it's the Redskins, though. It could be very sustainable in this game, but I think I faded him a little bit this week. I'll double-check that. But I think he's an okay play. I'm not saying bench him by any means.
Okay, to next game, good. I would say more of a good defensive game. Defense with the Raiders and the Jets. I don't trust Sam Darnold at all. Eric Harris has come on pretty crazy. Jamal Adams, he's got 5 sacks in 2 weeks?
He's not a human.
Jamal Adams is a must start against
everyone.
So
always and forever.
Jamal Adams is a must start. I would say Harris has got to be a good start just because Sam Darnold's a turnover machine. So the question is, the Raiders just signed Preston Brown. So I don't know.
I saw that. I don't know how to think about that. He just got cut by the Bengals, right?
Bengals. And he was playing well with the Bengals. So there was two big cuts that week. Vernon Hargreaves got signed immediately.
I want to see him play before. I want to see him play before I put him out there personally.
I mean, I like him more than Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall signing was smoke. I just looked real quick. I have Trey Flowers at 20 this week on my fantasy pros, but once I put in some of my outside linebacker guys, he kind of gets pushed down. He's probably more like around 28, 29 this week for me. So still playable.
Brandon, I'm not disregarding you. We'll definitely get to your question in a second. So,
Jet side of the ball, this Burgess guy and Neville Hewitt. I mean, you think they're both pretty solid plays?
He had another good week.
Yeah,
have a ton of tackles, but he played pretty well. It's a good matchup for both guys. Jacob's going to run the ball. That they're going to throw the ball to Waller.
Yeah, they're going to move the chains.
So, yeah, I'm okay with – I mean, Neville Hewitt's been kind of banged up. So, is he going to play? Is he not going to play?
Yeah.
Burgess is the stronger play for me right now. I haven't told Tim's that last week when he asked the question, should he play him? And we end up settling on Burgess because we like to play. I like to play again this week. It's going to be a good defensive game.
What about breakout superstar Max Crosby from the
Max
Raiders?
Crosby, like you said and I said, I would think he's a must start against Darnold.
Oh yeah, the living, breathing definition of a must start. Sam, I mean, there's nothing that Ryan Finley did this last week that Sam Darnold is not just as capable of doing.
I'm just going to get it right out of the way now. He's my player. I'm streaming.
Yeah.
So he's my defensive lineman that I'm going after. I
went out and looked for him in my dynasty because I thought there might be a chance he was available, and he wasn't. But that was sad. But he's definitely a good play. I think you can play Clelin Ferrell too, but I mean, you're playing him. He's a high risk and not even probably that great.
That's how I feel about Mayoya as well.
Yeah, same. He's a high risk. He can actually put up points though, so he's a high reward guy. But Eric Harris too. I have him I think I have him at 17, 18, 19 this week in my defensive back rankings. I think he's shown enough to
be a great idea. We could turn over City this one. So
especially with Darnold. I mean, the dude.
Derek Carr ain't no monster. I mean, he's having a good year though.
No, he is. He is having a good year, and he's doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. And I remember the offseason, I saw something on Twitter. They were like, we thought Antonio Brown would be carrying Derek Carr. I mean, he's doing just fine without Antonio Brown. And it's kind of good to see that because if AB would have been there, that would have been the narrative. And I mean, it's good to see Derek Carr be successful without Amari Cooper and without, Antonio Brown. We can see it. Yeah, as an individual quarterback, I mean, his play right now is good. So, I mean, when he gets better weapons around him, that aren't just Tyrell Williams, I think he's really maturing. And,
the only stud they really have is Jacobs. So,
yeah, they have a young stud there. They have good wide receivers this upcoming year. I mean, I think they're set up pretty well.
They could make a few defensive moves. Especially with the injuries that they have, they could be really solid next year. So watch out for them.
They could have not taken Clelin Ferrell and could have taken Josh Allen. But
that's true.
Anyway, let's get to this Giants game. Let's talk about my two favorite safeties in the NFL, Jabril Peppers and Antoine Bethea.
They're not your two favorite safeties.
No, they're not. But they're pretty dang close.
They're a pretty good tandem.
They're probably my favorite tandem in the NFL right now. I mean, they play off of each other really well for IDP purposes.
Edmonds and your boy?
Yeah. Edmonds is just – I mean, he's just –
we're not even talking about Edmonds really here.
Fitzpatrick is dope. But Jabril Peppers is having a great season. I mean, and remember coming into the year, he was one of those guys where a lot of people were scared to really, plant their flag and say Jabril Peppers is going to be good this season. I mean, I remember a few people saying, but a lot of people were like –
athlete. I mean, he was the number one player in the country coming out of high school.
Yeah.
Really solid player in Michigan.
He went to the Browns.
Well, you know how we talk about this? It's just about the right system sometimes.
Yeah, and somewhere he can go and thrive.
What Jordan Hicks is doing.
Yeah, no joke there.
Leading the league in tackles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people were all off about him, whether or not they should take him. Come on, bro. Dude's killing it. So
Jabril Peppers has one less tackle than Leighton Vander Esch on the season. Bruh. Let that sink in. Oh, Leighton Vander Esch was hurt. He's a middle linebacker. Jabril Peppers was a just okay strong safety.
So, like we said,
Start him.
does Kwiatkowski come back and play a decent game? He's got a much better matchup this week.
Yeah, I think you still have to start Kwiatkowski or Kwiatkowski. You can definitely start him. I mean, we saw what he did the first 2 games that he kind of popped up. He had a down game. Everyone has a down game. I mean, you're not starting him as your 1, hopefully, or even your 2 probably, but as a IDP flex or a 3, yeah. I mean, I'm still very comfortable playing him.
I mean, Trevathan's doubtful right now, so
yeah. Same thing with Alec Ogletree on the other side of the ball. He's, he may be more in that linebacker 2 discussion for me, but they're solid plays. And don't get your hopes too high.
It's not going to be a great defensive game. I mean, Clinton Dix could have a good match against Jones, who's kind of been slinging quite a bit. Darius Slayton's been playing really good for the Giants as a receiver, so I expect a little. If Fuller's hurt or not, we'll see. But I'd like to see. That could be fun to watch for sure. Next game, Saints-Panthers, rivalry game. Both have a lot on the line right now. The Panthers are on a move to try to make it. Let's talk about CMC is another guy that has got to be top 3 in the voting for MVP. He had 191 yards total offense last week without a score.
Yeah, he's real great.
How do you have 191 yards of offense and not score a touchdown?
Well, maybe he's not that good.
Bro, get out of here. This mess. Number 1 player in fantasy.
I want to circle back real quick and say Khalil Mack, he didn't have a great game this last week. I think he put up a 0, didn't he?
A dumpster fire weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think against Daniel Jones, I think you can play him, guys.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Danny Dimes might be Danny Pick City again. So we'll see.
But on the Panthers side, yeah, CMC's good, but I think for IDP purposes, they have one of the best safeties in the league that nobody ever really talks about. Eric Reid
is a stud, bro.
Dude's balling this season. He's got, I think he's got 3 or 4 sacks himself, and he's got 72 tackles.
Yeah, he is a stud.
Yeah, he's a beast and does not get the, he's kind of controversial because he's friends with, what's his face?
Kaepernick.
So, it's hush, quiet. No, he's a good safety, and
that dude this week.
The Panthers made the right call getting him on their team because he's still young too. I think he's 26, 27.
Yeah, still young. On the opposite side, you have Von Bell balling.
Opposite him, Von Bell, another great guy and a great season happening over there.
He's got like 4 interceptions and 3 forced fumbles.
The whole Saints defense is really kind of, for IDP purposes, been a kind of a gold mine and somewhere you didn't have to go digging very early in your drafts. You know what I mean? Von Bell, cheap option there. Demario Davis, cheap, playing really good. You probably had to pay up a little bit for Cam Jordan, but Marcus Davenport's been okay-ish. He was cheap. If you fell for the Kiko Alonso trap like me.
I did not.
I did. It was not fun.
It was a bad move for them, honestly.
Yeah, I thought I was being real slick getting him early in this, drafting him in a couple of spots, but
they got the 4th rounder up for him too, didn't they? So
I don't know. I know he still played. He got a pretty high PFF grade a week or 2 ago, but for IDP purposes, I don't think Sean Payton's putting him out there very much. So
I'd get 7th rounder, maybe tops.
But Eric Reid, I had him at 2 this week for my safeties, just because I think this is a divisional game. Drew Brees, he's gonna air it out, or at least try to. Michael Thomas is going to catch everything. Alvin Kamara is going to catch everything. So that means there's going to be tackling opportunities everywhere for Eric Reid. And
also Shaq Thompson. I think Shaq Thompson has a good week this week because
I
expect a lot of dump passes to Alvin Kamara again. So
all of the Panthers defensive players should be good. I have Trey Boston, I think, in at 24 this week in my ranking. So I have both their safeties in my top 24. I have a lot of confidence in them. I have just Drew Brees is going to move the chains. This defense is good for the Panthers, but not great. So I think they're going to get carved up, and I think there's just going to be a lot of opportunities to make tackles and make plays, which there'll probably be a couple of big plays made. But
they have 2 of the best slashing running backs on each side So
yeah, this will be a really fun matchup. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. It's Kamara and McCaffrey. They both came out the same year too, right?
Yep.
And they've both been, amazing. Yeah, they're both two of the best running backs in the league right now. So, yeah, should be a fun matchup on that side. On the other side, Demario Davis, he's kind of a must start anymore. He's been balling out the last couple of weeks.
I got a little question for you since Demario Davis has come up here. Devin White, Deion Jones, Demario Davis, you got to pick two.
Oh, well, it's not Deion Jones. 100% not him.
I agree.
That's so easy.
We're talking about Devondre Campbell's the dude there.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Devondre Campbell is the must play. He's so much better for IDP than Deion Jones. It's not even funny. And it's like it started out.
It's been our stud section the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. Well, it started out as a joke, kind of as a joke, just kind of is a hot take, is Deion Jones droppable? I'm looking here in our spreadsheet for some of the stuff we did. That was week 4 was the first time we said, is it time to sell Deion Jones? That was week 4. It's week 12. And we're still this isn't a debate anymore. I don't want to start him. I'm not starting him. I have him in 2 spots. I don't
finished 4th twice on the team at the linebacker position, not in tackles.
He's not even a linebacker 2 in most leagues. He's a linebacker 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah. So, he's just not looked. I haven't watched all the games, but some Saints or not Saints. Some Atlanta fans have been in my
Deion Jones.
Huh?
You playing Burgess over Deion Jones?
Yes, I'm playing everyone over Deion Jones.
Me too. This isn't even a question. Devin White and Demario Davis.
Oh, 100%. I give him kind of the veterans nod in my ranking sometimes, but I didn't this week. I think I buried his ass down in the 30s where he belongs. I'm done. Deion Jones, I'm done.
He's off the board. He's not on the board.
It's not that bad, but I'm not even kidding. I did bury him this week. I'll see if I can find it. Oh my gosh! I didn't bury him far enough. I'll fix that.
On the board.
I'll fix that here in a little bit. But yeah, you can't trust him. He does have a good matchup against Tampa Bay this week, but you can't trust him. But
Brandon says paid too high for Deion Jones. Had to bench him. Everybody
did. Coming into the season, he was in everyone's top 3 dynasty linebackers. And if you say he wasn't, you're lying. Because he was. I read all your rankings. I know.
Conversation: 3 guys to buy and 3 guys to sell on the same team. You and me, verbatim. Danny Trevathan, Devondre Campbell, and Jalen Smith. Everybody went with their counterpart: Roquan, LVE, and Deion Jones.
You're right.
I do. All 3 were going to outperform them.
I think you were a little more on that than me. Don't give me too much credit.
I was more on Devondre Campbell than anybody, I would tell you. And Danny Trevathan. I've been on Danny Trevathan.
I remember you being on Trevathan all the way back in March or April. But yeah.
So, but those 3 were the big ones. And a healthy Jalen Smith was huge.
You could almost throw in Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds in this conversation.
Tremaine is coming on strong now.
He is. You're right. And Roquan's not too far off either. But the point being,
he got hurt for 2 weeks.
The point being, this is something that next season, we're going to have to harp on for the IDP Army just to keep them, remind them, don't pay up unless it's a guy you really like. If you're a homer, okay, I'm fine with that. Get your dude. And if you really, really have a conviction a guy is worth it, then pay up. But if you don't have to pay up for some of these spots, especially at linebacker, I'm not doing it. Not next season. I might reach for Devin Bush a little bit, but I'm a Steelers fan, so sue me.
Okay, let's get to the next game. Possible MVP candidate in Russell.
Definite MVP candidate.
Definitely candidate. This could be a big game for him because the Eagles pretty much shut out Tom Brady last week. Seahawks, Eagles in Philadelphia. If Russell Wilson has a monster game and Lamar Jackson's – is Lamar Jackson on bye this week?
No. He plays –
who do they play? They play the Rams. Ooh.
Yeah, that's going to be – he's not going to have no small game.
Yeah. Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe next week Russell Wilson can overtake it.
To LA this weekend.
Yeah. Bobby Wagner's having a good season. I think he's got the 4th most tackles in the league right now. I posted the other day. So a lot of those are assists, but he's still really good. So that's fine.
Yep, I agree. You got Kendricks next to him, right? Playing well, or not Kendricks?
KJ Wright, who's
KJ Wright.
having a pretty good season. Not great, but okay. And you can play Kendricks in a pinch. He's been, he's on and off the field, but he's he's still a well-rounded and a very productive linebacker when he's out there. I just don't think they put three linebackers out there too often. So, this week. I'm putting Quandre Diggs as a guy you got to start. I think that he played 100% of snaps last week. He didn't have a lot of tackles, but he did have the interception, and that game was just there wasn't a lot of tackle opportunity. So he gained the snaps. They traded for him. Like you said, their defense was better last week than it has been in a while. So I think that he's a guy you have to play against. A kind of
I'm telling you, this could be a good defensive game because
it's a beat up Eagles offense with Alshon's beat up. Deshaun Jackson's gone and Jordan Howard is looking like he's not going to play. So there's going to be a lot of over the middle targets to the tight ends, I think, this week. And I think Quandre Diggs has a chance to have maybe a breakout game this week and help you down the stretch. Say it again.
Do you think they put Diggs on Ertz? Do you think they put Blair on Ertz?
I don't know. I don't know that Blair's going to play. I was looking last week. He barely played. I don't think he even played at all last week.
Yeah, but they didn't have the matchup where he would have to play.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate. That's bullshit. That's what I'm doing right now. But I think Diggs is the play, and I think McDougald. I don't think you can play Blair.
I think that was a lot of it.
Yeah, I don't think you can play Blair. I mean, I thought you could, and I told people to play him all last week. I played him. You played him. You know what I mean? It just didn't come to fruition like we thought it was going to. I mean, there's nothing. You got to move on. You have to can't hold on to these guys too tightly. You got to play what's going on.
I mean, that's why we look every week. I mean,
that was 2 weeks ago because they were on bye. But you know what I mean? Like, you got to adjust. It's halftime. You got to adjust.
I think with everybody healthy, we'll see what happens. But I think if you really watch what Blair did to Mark Andrews, him and Ertz are very comparable overall, I would tell you. I think Ertz is the best receiver on that team, even though he's the tight end. And Blair shut Mark Andrews down. So I would almost say you got to give him the opportunity. I mean, he's faster, but Quandre Diggs playing the other side. So it'll be really interesting to see how they play that. So, but like you said, Quandre Diggs played 100% of snaps. He played very well a couple weeks ago. So he's a guy that I'm with you, and he might even be available for a lot of leagues.
Yeah, no, that's the thing too. I think he probably is. So if you're in a pinch and you're in one of these situations where you just lost Tracy Walker again, Quandre Diggs might be out there. So go sneak around.
I told you, Tracy Walker scared me Sunday, man.
You were right.
From a knee injury where you're yelling from your knee injury, 2 weeks later, like let me ball out. And he was
balling. He was playing really good to start that game.
But all it took was one bad move.
You're right. You're right.
And he might be done for the season. They haven't said anything, but I mean, you kind of wonder. I mean, unless they do something drastic,
I think they should shut him down. They would be smart to. He's a good player. Don't mess this up.
Especially, I mean, they're after trading Quandre Diggs, they're real shallow in that position. So,
yeah, agreed.
This next game,
Eagles side of it. Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham. They're the edge rushers for the Eagles. I think they're probably okay plays this week. I wouldn't think. I don't think they're going to be world beaters
against Russell Wilson overall.
I don't think they're going to be world beaters, but I think they're not going to. I don't think you're going. I think they're playable. They're playable guys. I'm not saying play them, but they're playable guys. I just want to sneak that in there. And I think Nigel Branham also was back.
Nigel Branham's playing really good.
Yeah. So.
Oh, he has played very well. So.
We can move on to the next game. Bucks Falcons. We kind of jumped into that.
Falcons defense playing a lot better. The Bucks. Well, Jameis Winston, threw 4 interceptions or something? Still scored more points than Mahomes?
I feel bad for the guy.
I don't know what's going to happen this week because Jermonte KZ got hurt. So they're a little shallow on the corner. And let's be real, Mike Evans just had a bad week last week. He had 3 drops last week. I mean, 3 bad drops. he had a slant that he might still be running right now if he catches. And it hits him in the chest. There's nobody around him, and it just hits the ground because he wanted to run. So I think that this could turn into a shootout again. I think the backside is a good look. Like I said, I think Devin White's a very good play because Matt Ryan loves to dump off to the tight end, whoever that's going to be, because Hooper's gone. So it'll be interesting to see who guards Calvin Ridley this week.
Nobody. Maybe White.
Balling out is what you're saying. So.
Yeah. Devin White and Levante David are both really, really good plays at linebacker. I have them both on the same team in one league, and it's kind of hard figuring out which to bench because usually when I'm figuring out who to bench, it's one of those two just because of the guys that I have. I have another league where I have Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith, so I usually – if I'm benching somebody of those two, it's tough to always figure out like who I'm going to sit.
What's the play? Yeah, who's running, who's passing?
Who's just gonna have the good game?
I like Levante David and Devin White. They always play against the Falcons.
Not been doing so great the last couple of weeks. He had a pretty good first 2 games back. Hopefully he can maybe get right against the Bucks. Shaq Barrett.
Did the Falcons take like 6 sacks the other day?
I think so. I don't remember.
Or did they have 6 sacks?
I think they had 5 or 6 sacks. They've had 5 or 6 sacks in 2 games now. That does not mean that I am playing. I mean, I'll play Grady Jarrett, even though he had a bad game this last week. I'm not playing Vic Beasley. I think Tack McKinley got hurt. We've already kind of talked about, Deion Jones. I'm kind of moving away from him.
Deion Jones does not play for me, period.
Andre Campbell has been doing well, so. And then Ricardo Allen had a good game last week, their safety. So
I got Andre Campbell going against me this week, so I'm not really excited about him because I know he's going to play well.
Suck it.
Suck it, nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get to the next game. Bills, Broncos. How are you feeling? You feel Jordan Poyer's going to come back and have a good game against the Broncos?
Yeah, I had him in my top 12 this week.
Has now had 2 weeks to really figure out his receivers. So he had a phenomenal game against the Browns. Does he have a 2 or 3 touchdown game against the Bills, though?
No. Bills' defense is legit.
Okay, do you think your boy, because you've been super high on Allen, continues his hot streak?
Yeah.
Do you know he's had the most touchdowns since week 7?
I saw that. Not surprised.
12.
Get my Nate Diaz gif out. I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Do you think he continues to get that against the number 4 defense in the league?
Yeah.
Even though the Broncos are losing,
Josh Allen is good. And he's playing with a bunch of garbage weapons, and like he's good. Like I don't know what else to tell people. He's on the Bills. We didn't like him come. He wasn't Baker Mayfield. He wasn't Sam Darnold. I don't care. Like, watch him play. He's capable. He wants to win. He's got a cannon of an arm, and he's not scared to say, fuck it, and drop his shoulder and just blast through a middle linebacker. And he's also got moves. He's also got moves. You get him in open space. He's not scared to do a Lamar Jackson impression out there.
White chocolate, huh?
Yeah, he's not scared. I've been trying to tell you, Jared. Come on, dude. Get on the job. I've been telling you. I mean, I've been blowing up a couple of my leagues.
The Josh Allen train for.
I'm in this one league. I'm on a 10-game win streak. Guess who my quarterback is? Josh Allen. I'm in another league. I'm on like a 7-game win streak.
I'm telling you,
Josh Allen's my quarterback, and this is the league where I got other quarterbacks. I don't ever take Josh Allen out of my quarterback spot ever.
I think. I think Allen on the other side, Kyle Allen, used to play at Arkansas, by the way. Or is it not Kyle Brent? Josh Allen? I don't know where is it.
I have Josh Allen. I know I'm talking about it. I have Josh Allen in about 8 leagues, and there are only 2 leagues where Josh Allen is not an every week starter for me, and that's the league where I have Dak Prescott, and that's the league where I have Lamar Jackson. That's it. In every other league I'm in, he is my quarterback 1. I have Patrick Mahomes in a couple leagues, but I mean, like,
we talked about
all Josh Allen
the other day, who had a really good game and kind of like a no name.
Who?
the Broncos player. He had
Shelby Harris. He had a monster game.
Yeah.
He had a monster game this last week.
I think he really stepped up a lot. So
he was only like 1 point behind Max Crosby or something like that, 1 or 1.5 points. So
So is he a guy you're streaming against the Bills?
I don't know. The Bills' offensive line has not been as bad as you would think.
It's been overall pretty stout, actually.
And again, Josh Allen, I don't know.
I think they're like one of the offensive lines that really hasn't been hurt all year.
Yeah, I don't really trust the Broncos pass rush. I think you can play them, but I don't trust them. Like, there's no level of confidence putting Shelby Harris or Von Miller or Derek Wolfe into my lineup. I know they can score, and I know they could maybe win me a week, but I do not put them into my lineup and think that good things are going to happen or assume that good things are going to happen.
Okay, so, Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah, you got to play him.
You got to play both of them.
You got to play him, Matt Milano, Poyer. I'm playing Hyde in a super deep league. Not super excited about it, but I mean, I got to.
What about Justin Simmons, who had a really bad game last week?
No, I am so off of Justin Simmons and Kareem
2 weeks
Jackson.
Ago, he balled out.
I know. It's frustrating. I've told you. I think I've tweeted this. That he's the most frustrating player for me to rank every week. And I
finished the top 5 safety last year.
Well, he's not going to do that this year. Not even close. I wash my hands of that. Todd Davis, though, and A.J. Johnson, they both did good on the Broncos side again. I think they're both, you can play both of them.
This might go a little 17 to 13 games or something.
Talking about Josh Allen's going to have 4 touchdowns. So that's, what is that, 14?
You think Josh Allen's going to have 4 touchdowns against the number 4 defense in the league? But you think
that might be okay. Calm down.
I think they're going to play well.
I think he'll have 2 touchdowns. I think you can lock him in for 2.
Okay, so 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals at 16 points.
You're right.
Okay.
But I think there's a lot more on the bone.
Blows up.
I hope so. It'd be nice.
I'm benching him this week, so there's that.
All right, let's get to this next game. Steelers Bengals. This is a juicy IDP game.
This is safety galore right here.
Yeah, this has got 2. This is probably my second favorite tandem is Jesse Bates and Sean Williams for the Bengals. They're monsters. Jesse Bates has interceptions in back-to-back weeks, which has been big. I know you have him. So
I've been streaming Jesse Bates everywhere. I mean, this might be the greatest grab of 2 rookies to play with each other consistently for over a 2-year period. I mean, the rookies last year, Bates was rookie last year, Sean Williams being a sophomore. And then this year, both playing very well again. And then on the opposite side, you got Edmonds and Minka. This is going to be fun. Nick Vigil's playing really well. Obviously, arguably the rookie of the year in Devin Bush. Because as much as everybody want to talk about Nick Bosa, he went quiet for 2 straight games now.
Mm-hmm.
Devin Bush is not getting quiet.
He's not been real loud either, but he has quieted down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, he has a little bit more consistent production.
Who has more tackles and who has more turnovers?
No, you're right.
Devin Bush is the guy, and he's getting no love, and it's hilarious to me. This dude was top 10 of all tackle leaders at one time. What?
Yeah, I think around week 7, 8, he was.
And I think he's still really high in solo tackles. So. Yeah. How is he not getting any love? He's also got like 3 forced fumbles.
It's only because of the snap percentage kind of has gone down a little bit. That's the only reason. I mean, and it's people getting scared, But I'm with you.
Devin Bush, I think, is the rookie of the year, and I think Nick Bosa is getting too much love. Right? Let's not get this twisted. I'm not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I am.
So, and I know this. But thing is, he's the leader of that defense, and that is saying something. TJ Watt
is.
Plays.
Huh?
Who's calling the plays?
I think TJ Watt is.
No, bro.
I'm pretty sure he is. We'll have to look, take a deeper look. But this is a great game for TJ Watt against the Bengals offensive line that let Max Crosby sack Old Finley 4 times. I don't think Finley makes it out of this game with Cam Hayward, Bud Dupree, and T.J. Watt coming at him. I don't think Finley makes it out of this game.
I'm still shocked. Dalton was leading the league in yardage when they pulled him. Let's talk about that.
They have to see what they have. I mean, whatever.
Well, guess what?
You don't have much.
Finley is trash.
There ain't much.
Let's pull that dog.
That's rude. That's so cruel. And people are like, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing this to Haskins," and nobody's talking about what they're doing to Drew Finley or whatever this Finley guy is. What's his name? I don't even know his first name. Drew Finley.
He won't be anybody soon. He's a dumpster fire.
I feel bad for him, and he's got to play the Steelers, who are hungry. They know they're a defense first team.
The Steelers this week.
I mean, T.J. Watt is I'll tell you this now. I haven't put my rankings out. T.J. Watt is my number one defensive lineman this week, and I think Cam Hayward is in the top 8.
They should be.
So there you go. Big-ish popping. I'm pretty sure let me take a look. I'm pretty sure Bud Dupree's at like 24 or 25.
I'll put it this way. It's such a juicy matchup, and I have this one player IDP league, and I'm thinking about going to get T.J. Watt just for this week.
I think you got. I mean, Upside City, dude. That's a home grand slam right there.
I mean, we might be talking 3 sacks for T.J. Watt.
Yeah,
could be ugly.
It could get ugly real fast. First snap of the defense.
Bud Dupree could have a big week. You know what? Bud Dupree let me down last week.
Yeah, he's been letting me down a little bit the last couple weeks, but he still has that monster breakout game. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's in my top 30 for sure. I know that. I think he's in my top 24. I gotta look, but all those guys. Cam Hayward, he's a must play. Devin Bush, a must play. Minkah Fitzpatrick, a must play. I think there's going to be turnovers. I think this dude's going to throw 1 or 2 to Minkah. I mean, he's due for 1. He's actually due for 2. So,
like I said, he's good for 1 a week.
Terrell Edmonds.
He had a down week last week.
Yeah, Minkah, you can play him as a defensive back 1. I've got Terrell Edmonds as a defensive back 2 this week. So I think this is a great IDP game. That's the moral of the story.
All right, let's get to these last 4.
I guess we should really quickly say that, our dude, Sam Hubbard, we miss you, man.
You're pissing me off, Sam.
I know, I'm pissing myself off.
We're
gonna have whenever Chase Young and he are able to line up across from each other, and they're like, "Hey, man, we both played at Ohio State, and we're both like super cool." Like Sam Hubbard will do better then. So it's coming. Hubbard's day in the sun.
He needs to start balling out.
His day in the sun is coming again.
What about Jermaine Pratt? Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, he was a hot topic on the what's that Sunday show, the live show. I think
in the long run, he's got to be a guy you got to grab. So
in the long run, yeah, absolutely. If you're talking dynasty, if you can get a hold of a guy like that now.
Connor got re-injured, which means they're going to dump the ball to your boy. Was it Edmonds, the other running back?
Samuels.
Edwards is the other guy. So, yeah, so Jalen Samuels got, 14 receptions the first week that James Conner was out? I almost expect the same thing this week.
Really?
Well, Juju's out.
Yeah, I saw that. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Concussion protocol, and he hurt his knee. So,
and Mason Rudolph is probably going to be so scared.
He might be suspended.
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
I mean, when do they have to when would they have to let him know, like during a game week? I wonder.
During a game week, did you hear what happened last week with freaking Antonio Callaway? He was in warm-ups.
And they told him to get the fuck out.
They told him to get off the field. He was no longer part of the team.
You're right. I remember that.
Off the field, and
there's no etiquette for like telling you to leave. Like, it's just go.
They might have just played "You're fired," the Donald Trump "You're fired" over the one, like the big sound system, just to let this dude know you're going to be escorted off the field.
That's awesome. We got 4 more matchups here.
Jaguars, Titans. This is going to be a defensive monster game, right?
Oh, yeah. So much IDP action in this one, too. I feel like we've said the last 3 games, so it should be a good IDP week. Where do you want to start?
Ngakoue.
Yannick Ngakoue. There you go.
Baller.
Love that. Baller. He's been crushing the past couple of weeks. He's been a big play machine. His tackle numbers, which were the one thing that were a knock against him.
30 quarterback hurries last 5 games.
Oh yeah, and he should have. And one of those games was against
he should have had
Deshaun Watson. He should have had like 3 or 4 sacks on Deshaun Watson. He literally had Deshaun Watson wrapped up twice, and Deshaun Watson like was falling over, throwing the ball for a.
Ryan Tannehill takes at least 3 sacks this game. At least.
Oh yeah, at least. Honestly, if we're going to talk defensive line, Yannick and Calais Campbell get the snaps, but I'm fading Calais Campbell this week. I mean, we've talked about it a little bit, touched on it in the past. Like, there's something he's just not getting the production you expect him to get.
Back.
Yeah, you're right. He seems like this injury has been bothering him all season, and even though Josh Allen is not playing a high number of snaps, just 50%-ish right now, he's been very productive all season. And earlier in the season, he was playing a little bit more, and Yannick was playing less. I think Yannick was a little bit banged up too early with the hamstring. But Yannick and Josh Allen are ahead of Calais Campbell in my rankings for the first time since the season started this week. So I'm just letting you know, hard fade of Calais Campbell. Love him. Think he's still a great play. I mean, he's still in my top 25 because it's Tennessee, but I'm getting a little worried. So Miles Jack had basically his first good game of the season this last week.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. I don't trust it. I still have him ranked super low this week. I think I have him in the mid-20s. Ronnie Harrison, he's still a defensive back 2 for me this week, high level 2. I mean, he's usually a 1. He was hurt a couple of weeks back, though. Gerard Wilson, he's not high up this week, but I think he's still a playable asset. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Jags. What about you?
Yeah, on the same spot. The other side, Rashaan Evans having a phenomenal sophomore year. Must play. Logan Ryan's a baller. Logan Ryan's, I think he's the leading defensive back.
Oh, he still is. And he's like taking a week off. And
so those are my 2 big plays. I don't know if Jaylen Brown is going to be healthy again. Ever since he got injured, Jaylen Brown was a baller like the first 5 weeks and then got injured.
Yeah. And he had a big game back and then he got injured again. So
I'm interested to see what
this looks like this week after the bye.
Yep.
I agree. I think Harold Landry, it's going to be good to see him play again. We were just kind of catching on to what he was really up to right before the bye hit. He's a beast. I'm excited to play him. I'm playing him over guys like Bernardrick McKinney and Zach Cunningham. I'm playing him over Miles Jack in IDP flex spots just because he's getting a really good number of tackles and he's a sack turnover machine right now. So I'm riding the hot hand with him. He gets a lot of quarterback hits. I mean, he's just playing really, really good football, and he's showing up in the box score, which is what you want. So,
all right, we're gonna have to shotgun these last 3. Let's go. Right. Patriots, Cowboys. Obviously, I think Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith are solid starts. I think Robert Quinn's a solid start. DeMarcus Lawrence, I don't really think is a solid start. I actually like Xavier Woods this week, especially with Heath being hurt again.
Yep. And with the Patriots.
I'm telling you, the matchup with Amari Cooper and probably the greatest corner in the league, Stephon Gilmore, that's going to be just fun to watch. It's just going to be fun football.
I think there's a chance that Cooper might be out, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm with you on that side. Jalen Smith is and Leighton Vander Esch must starts. Robert Quinn's a must start. DeMarcus Lawrence
Collins come back and play well.
Is startable. Who?
Jamie Collins.
We'll get to that in a second.
Last week.
Xavier Woods, I'm with you too. He's a top 10 start for me this week against the Pats. Patriot side of the ball, I'm not really starting anybody but Jamie Collins, and I'm kind of worried about it after last week's game. But I mean, he's shown that he's been reliable most of the season. So
Dante Hightower had a good game last week.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fun. If you're a defensive guy, last week Patriots Eagles Super Bowl rematch, a lot of fun. Honestly, it was just a fun defensive game to watch. It was probably the worst game I've seen Tom Brady play in years.
In a while. Yeah.
So I expect him to bounce back, to be honest with you. I expect Dak. I don't know if Dak's going to have a full. I expect the one to progress and one to degress. I don't expect Dak to have a 400-yard game this week.
Fair.
I mean,
I don't expect him. I think he can. I think he'll hit like 260 and a touchdown,
which is kind of what I expect. But the Patriots, I expect the Patriots even to step back up and be what they were the first couple of weeks.
I think they're gonna give Dak a world of hell. So
they're trying to get, like they were talking about on a dispute this morning about how Dak is maybe be Tom Brady. Jerry Jones even said, "I think we got a quarterback like Tom Brady." Jerry, it's time to toss that up, bro. You're crazy. Next question. Okay, we got 5 minutes left in our show. Let's go Packers, Niners. Packers. Rodgers has been kind of down the last couple of games. Jones has been kind of down, has been playing okay. I expect them to step up against the 49ers. The 49ers have not looked really great the last two games. Drake Greenlaw's playing pretty well. The Cardinals should have beat the 49ers. They're up 16-0 last week and lost.
Yeah, they pissed that game away.
Yep. And this is 2 games in a row that the 49ers are getting to play at home. So,
yeah, Packers side of the ball, for me, it's Blake Martinez, Darnell Savage, and Zadarius and Preston Smith. Those are the guys I want to start. I don't want to start Kenny Clark. He hasn't been the same since he got injured early in the season either. So that's where I'm at. It's the whole Packers for me. Jaheir Alexander, you can talk about it. But
pretty solid. He's going to be playing, probably against Deebo Samuel, I would guess. So that could be a fun one. On the other side, obviously, Bosa's still got to be a start. You still got Drake Greenlaw. And I think Tuitt has another good game.
Yeah.
That's what I'm on that group. All right.
I gotta give DeForest Buckner and Fred Warner a little shout out.
Well,
they almost don't need to talk about them. They're must starts. Fred Warner, especially since Quan Alexander has gone out, the last 2 games have been Fred Warner's 2 best games of the season. He's got 2 sacks, a forced fumble recovery, and like 20-something tackles. And he's hit double-digit tackles both weeks. He hadn't hit double-digit tackles all season. I said maybe once, I think. So he's back to his 2018 self, it looks like. So, yep. And DeForest Buckner is just a beast. He might be the best defensive lineman on the 49ers line. Sorry to Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa is the most talented, but I think he's the one that's getting all the attention.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like, DeForest Buckner's doing big stuff.
Yeah.
And all we can talk about. And every time Nick Bosa shows up on the screen, that's all anyone can talk about. So got to give DeForest Buckner a shout. He's a beast. I have him in a lot of places, and I'm about to win a lot of leagues. I have DeForest Buckner in, I think, this season. So,
all right. Last game. Do we expect a Monday night blowout in LA?
Yes, I do. I expect the Rams to – this is the final nail in the Rams' coffin for the season, in my opinion. They're going to get
as much money as they spent 2 years ago to keep the players they had, and they had the Super Bowl run to be where they're at right now.
And we saw something last week out of the Ravens pass rush that we haven't seen all season. And
Judon looked great.
Yep. And Honest War sneaking around in there.
Star, right? Yeah, Judon's got to be a must play, right?
I have him pretty high this week. I don't know exactly where he's at. I have to take a look, but as an edge rusher in ESPN, he's a top, 30 play, top 30 play easy. And the Rams did shuffle around their offensive line, and that did give Khalil Mack some trouble this last week. So maybe they got something figured out. But I'm just saying the way the Ravens are playing, they're playing with the kind of confidence that people talked about the Saints playing with last year. Like I don't think they think they're going to lose any game, any matchup. So, I'm starting on the Rams side. Obviously you're starting Corey Littleton. Obviously you're starting Taylor Rapp, Aaron Donald, Dante Fowler. I'm fading him a little bit this week. Still a great player, but Lamar Jackson has been very clean this season. So that gives me a little cause for concern. Eric Weddle.
What, like 145 passing streak without an interception. Then it broke, and then he's back on a good streak again.
I think both the Rams safeties are going to be really good this week because Lamar Jackson is
honestly, I love Corey Littleton this week. I think it almost spies Jackson. So
he ain't gonna get many tackles.
I don't think it's gonna be a thing this week. I just think that's gonna happen. I think this could be a lot funner. I haven't looked at the Vegas spread on this, but I think it's probably pretty high on the Ravens side, especially what they've done in the last two games. I think you see the Ravens give them a little more heat than people think they do. People are expecting to blow it, and I think you're going to look different.
Yeah. You know what we should do? We usually cover the Monday night game. We should talk about the Monday night game on our Monday morning show. What do you think about that? All right. I did not get any starts of the week ready this week. I apologize. IDP Army. Y'all, if you follow me on –
my big start of the week is Max Crosby. So
there you go. I'll tweet something out, guys, at 50 Shades of Drunk, Jordan Rains. I'll tweet out. And the IDP Army account, I'll try and get on that. If you stuck around with us this whole time, we appreciate you. Check us out on Instagram at IDP Army. That's the community account. And then at the IDP 411. That is our joint podcast account for both of our shows. We put up, the rankings and some funny memes, stuff like that. A little just different flavor than, the podcast or what we put on Twitter. So just, keep it up, give us a follow and give us a like. And, we'll talk to you guys, answer your questions, whatever you want. So we're here for you guys. We do this for you. And hopefully, tomorrow night is the first night of the week that you move towards, the playoffs and that championship. So appreciate you.
Give us a holler on Sunday.
Yep. Let's go. Let's win week 12, baby.
Go.